recording going. So welcome to the Chief Chat. We got some hot seat critiques coming up. Lori Morgan's in the house. I haven't even asked her formally, but hey, Lori, can you come on? Yes, woohoo, awesome. So let's get Jimmy, Lori, maybe Carrie will come on. Some highfalutin, big-time copywriters going to come on and do some critiques with us. We got some good submissions today, various niches, and we're all going to learn a lot. And of course, I want to hear from everybody in the comments. This is a full-on everybody in the room critique. So if you see something, say something, give your feedback. All you need to be is a buyer of goods to qualify to help out with a critique. Would you buy the thing or not? Are you excited? Are you confused? So everybody weigh in. But first, check this out. Let's see if this works. I don't know if it'll even work. It won't. It's not there. Okay. I'll show you next time. There's this cool software. It's got to, I would need to see it as a camera setting in Zoom, but it's called That's the name of it. MMHMM. I'm still on the fence about the name. I think it's definitely memorable, but every time I've told somebody about this, I go, yeah, it's called Of course, you have no idea how to spell that. So I don't know if they chose a good name or not, but it's from the same entrepreneur, the visionary behind, so I don't use it. It's the note taking system. What's it called? What's the big note taking software? Thank you, Evernote, Carrie. Evernote. I don't use it. Didn't like Evernote personally. Found it too hard to file stuff, and I don't know why. I'm a simple man. But anyway, now I've created this thing called and if you look it up, MMHMM. Don't do it now because we're busy, but it's pretty cool. It's a software that allows you to do like a Zoom meeting. And so I could, if I had a green screen, it looked really cool because I can be in front of any background and I could like shrink my head and I could bring on, it could be two of us on camera and we could put a screen up and show anything we want. And it's just a really cool dynamic way to hold a meeting. I will show you that. I literally just opened it this morning, and in order for me to do it, I would need to see as a camera option, which I do not. So I can't show it to you today. But here's what I do want to show you. And this was all I was going to do with it anyway. As you may know, myself and the team have been working tirelessly behind the scenes to remodel your Copy Chief experience. And I'm so excited to share this with all of you. Very soon, you'll have access to this. And the reason you hear me talking about it and it ain't there for you yet is because I want to get this right. And I've taken all the experience from my 6 years running Copy Chief and learning that you launch something when it's really ready. And that is especially important when you have technology involved, this is a lot of new tech. So we've already moved our hosting. Hopefully you're already experiencing a faster, smoother Copy Chief experience just by us moving our hosting. We are moving on to a brand new forum platform. So your entire user experience in the membership form is going to be brand new, very fresh and exciting. Lots of cool new bells and whistles, but we're also simplifying all the content, so it's not overwhelming. There's not a million threads going up and down and it's hard to find stuff. All that's going away. And the dashboard, the training dashboard is super new, super cool, super slick, the most up-to-date stuff they have to help everybody have a better experience. So like you'll now be able to easily track your progress through trainings. You'll be able to go through different categories of trainings, easily, quickly find everything. And it's going to be really cool. So all that to say, along with that, I thought, well, now's a good time to maybe update the logo. What? Hold on a second. What are we talking about? That's a big change. I get it. And it doesn't have to happen. But I asked my designer, Greg, who has done all the art for Copy Chief since the very beginning. He created the original logo. Here it is here on, if you were at Copy Chief Live, it's on everything. And so here's the problem about potentially updating a logo is you can't, I don't want to like all of a sudden have it so dramatically different. I like our vibe, our style, but for me, I just feel like I've never loved the blocky C's necessarily, and you know the typeset thing is cool. It's an ode to writing and all that, but it just feels like, I don't know. It'd be nice to have a little freshen up. So I said, Greg, could you show me some variations on the logo that feel familiar to us, but would feel also new and exciting? So I want to show you what we're looking at so far. How about that? You can be the beta test for the new logo. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop them up, and I'll tell you which version. So in the comments, if you could, I want you to write V1 and then rate it 1 through 5. V1, 1 through 5. How much do you like it? Okay. And we'll just do it that way. And I'll see what you guys think about the new logos. All right, here we go. Da, 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 not an option. Why isn't it there? Hang on one second. Let me find. I think I got to move this back into my. Okay, here we go. This will work. All right. This is version 1 of the new logo. Rate it 1 to 5. 1 to 5. Now, you may recognize this font. It is the Nobody Writes Alone font, the original Nobody Writes Alone. I've always loved that design. And I said, maybe what would it look like if our logo was very similar to that? So how do you like this? What do you think? That's version 1. Here is version 2. Version 2. Similar, a little sharper on the, a little more cursive-y, a little more sharp on the font, some of the letters. Does not have the underline like the other one does. I'm withholding my comments because I don't want to sway your voting here. This is version 2, rate it 1 to 5. This is, sorry, also version 1 in different looks. Here is version 3. Version 3 has rounder C's and a little loopy on the Y there. And the F is pretty loopy as well. It's got a loopy F. There it is on white. All right, so is that it? Those are really the main 2. So essentially there's 3. We have version 1, version 2, version 3. All right, let me stop this. I just want to look at the comments and see what you guys are saying. Okay, let me see. Wow, a lot of voting. Thank you for helping me here. Wow. Oh, let me go back. Okay. V1, only a 2 from Chris. Huh. Lori saying 4.5, 4. V1, a 3, a 2. V1, a 3, a 2. A 3, a 2, a 2. Now, you know, maybe I should have asked you to vote after you saw them all. And also compare this to our original logo. So now, okay, V1 is only a 2. Huh, you guys didn't love V1. Interesting. V2, yeah, you really didn't like. Okay, V2, yeah. 1 is best from Lynn. V3, oh, you guys liked V3. Very interesting. Wow, Kerry Carr, 1 is 1 the worst? Oh, yeah, 1 is the worst. 1 through 5. 5 is the best. Michael Rhodes, okay. Jimmy's making jokes, so I can't really tell what he thought. Jimmy, okay. The creative people you can't trust to give you actual feedback. Okay, V1. All right. So now, yeah, you're right, Jimmy. That makes sense. So let's do this one more time if you'll bear with me. This is very helpful. I hope this is. All right, here's all of them. in a small version. So we'll call this V1.
1,
I'm sorry, we'll call this V1. Don't forget what markings you see here. So now this is V1. Okay. Do we like that better? This is V1 on white. This is V2. V2, a little sharper, a little different. This is V2 on white. Okay. V3 is this one. Let's call it the rounder C version. Now, let me look again at how you voted. V1 epic, V2 3, V3 meh. Yep, I'm 100% with you, Lori. Okay, if V1 is growing, yeah, this is how it goes, right? It's. I've been looking at these for 3 days now, and it's interesting because I accidentally I didn't see all the choices at first. Because this Envision thing is pretty cool, but sometimes it's not clear that you have other choices. Anyway, first one I saw was V2, and I was like, that's actually pretty hot. Like, I kind of dig that. It's different, but it looks like us. Then I saw V1, and I was like, oh yeah, that really started growing on me. Now let's get a little more granular. This is V1. This is my favorite. I like the C's, like, I don't know, it's just got a nice flowy feel, right? But my wife thought maybe the F is a little hard to read. It kind of looks like a P, and I'm thinking, but we know what it says. So my first question is, would this F maybe throw somebody who didn't know copy chief like we do? Because people, I don't know if you've ever told me, I'm in this thing called copy chief, and they're like, copy cheat? Like, no, not cheat. Copy cheap? No, not chief. Like a chief? They've never heard of a copy chief. They don't know what that is. So they're cheese. My daughter was on a trolley downtown recently, and this guy was talking to them and said he was a copywriter. She's like, oh, my dad runs Copy Chief. And he's like, copy cheese? Through a mask. And she's like, forget it. Anyway, and Rachel and I also wondered, is this a little too sporty underneath, the line underneath? Is it a little too much, that like sports team kind of, softball with a little, I don't know. So here's what I asked the designer. Says, show me this without the lines underneath, with a shorter hook on the Y, and show me some different Fs. What the F, I said. So I'm excited to get that back. So, the underline makes it more of 2 words with 2 underlines. Okay. The lines are cool. Just the F could be better. Yeah. Okay. You like the underline. Okay, cool. You like the underneath. Yeah, it was the underneath started growing on me too. The F is funky and not in a good way. Okay. Yep. All right. Thank you. This is very helpful. I'll look back at these comments, in the replay even more clearly. But I'm excited. Like, it'll be cool when you guys to log into the new place. It's gonna look familiar to what we have now. But what's cool about it is the more you're in there and the more you look around, you'll see some immediate changes. But for the most part, it won't be like, what the hell is this? Where do it'll be instinctive. We've got beta testers coming in this week, so we'll confirm all that's working like we hope for them. But what's cool about it is it's kind of like getting a new car, where you're like, for the whole first week, you're in there, you're like, it does. Oh, that's what that does. It does that. Oh, seat warmers, And so it's only going to keep getting better once you're in there. But I wanted. So what a cool thing to have a new logo when we go in. It's like, that's the one thing that'll make you go, pow, all new and exciting. So groovy. Okay, cool. Maybe combine the two with one underline O from the F to the whole word. Oh, that's a cool idea, Wee-Yen. I'll suggest that as well. We'll get a look at that. Yes, there would be butt warmers in the new copy chief. So if you live in a cold place, all you have to do is we'll send you a pair of USB underwear, and then you just plug it into your computer. Whenever you're on the copy chief site, it'll warm your booty. And when you're in a Facebook group that somebody started because they asked you to say I'm in, and they're going to show you how they boosted conversions 0.7% on a diet offer, your butt will get cold, and that will remind you that you're in the wrong group. That's how that's going to work. All right, let's get into these critiques. We got some cool ones. Is Zach here? My man Zach Hansen. Zach is such a great, helpful, cool member. Maybe you've read his how to use Copy Chief. And Zach is, if you've seen that post from Zach, I just loved it so much because it's the members taking care of each other, but it was also, really put to the forefront. Look, we get that this place is crazy confusing. It's way too much stuff. And I was already inspired to redesign everything, but Zach's post really brought it home. Like, all right, if the members are having to help each other figure out how the hell to get around this place, we gotta step up and improve the UX. So we're gonna do Zach first. Hopefully he's got a warm butt, and let's get our friend Lori on. Don't move, Lori. I'm going to bring you on with Mike and Cam. Let's get our friend Jimmy on. Jimmy, are you up for some critiques today? Jimmy. Okay. And let's get, hi, Lori. Can't see or hear you yet, but.
I'm a coming.
Yeah, I'm a coming. Oh, look at you. There's the horses. There's boys or girls or both, those horses?
The mama and her son.
Those are your babies. Those are Lori's actual horses.
Yes.
How did the move go? Are you out in Arizona now?
We're in Arizona, but we have to go back for the horses. So we've got to drive back and trail them out here because we don't have a place for them. You can't just let them run free.
Not like the old West.
No, not quite.
They know where the vittles are. They'll come back.
That is true.
Jimmy, what's happening, buddy?
Better now that I'm here. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. I like your fancy background as well. You've got some kind of cool. You were showing us. You've got toys, and you've got some kind of cool fade out effect and the blurred out effect in the back.
Well, yeah, that's real. That's my camera.
That's real. That's your camera.
That's real.
That's pretty badass. I like that.
It is badass.
I didn't know you play guitar too.
How have we not had this conversation?
We haven't talked about guitar. I'll tell you why, because I'm newly very into guitar. I'm finally learning. So I'm now obsessed, and I always loved music and I care to know who plays and doesn't. But now that I'm really taking it seriously, I'm learning so much about guitar. It's really exciting. So I'm up for that conversation for real now.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jam.
Awesome. All right. So let's get Zach in. And then once we do this, we'll jam through these much quicker. I appreciate everybody helping me with the logo stuff, and love doing these critiques.
Hey, going Zach, on?
How are you, brother?
There's a mess. Oh my gosh, Jimmy! Every time I see you, man, you look cooler on camera every time. Like
you can thank my wife for that. This was not my doing. I would not be presentable if it were not for her.
It's always the wife. Every married guy looks better.
Amen. Yep. Amen to that. Thank you all for the help on this one.
Yeah, brother.
Appreciate it. So do you just want some backstory on what's going on
give us a little context. Since you're here, I'll let you set it up.
So this is going to be like a funnel run through Facebook ads, and it's very direct to offer. So meaning we're basically calling out in the Facebook ad, if I could help you do this, would you take me up on that offer? So it's not really problem aware. It's more people that are a little bit like they might be a little problem aware, more kind of like in that they know they have a problem. But it's kind of in the middle. It's not like we're trying to convince them they have a problem. So it's very, very direct to offer.
Yeah. So it's not a ton of pain, agitation, and all that. You're assuming they know why they need this. Yeah.
It's a little bit of pain, agitation, but it's more about the transformation, less than kind of educating and giving them a bunch of free content and all that good stuff.
Okay, cool. All right. It is a VSL. It slides.
And I have one recorded. Do you want the recorded one, or I just thought slides would be easier? But if you want to, Do you want
I
the
think I'll
recorded one
jam
or
through
what?
the slides. That's what I did to look at it before this
Cool.
call. And
Hey, I got a quick question. Where's the traffic coming from?
All Facebook.
So it's cold. It's cold, or is it like
Very cold.
Okay.
Very cold, yeah, all cold. And the way the ad is set up, I actually learned this from Joel Urway, who's awesome marketer, as you guys all know. But it's kind of his power offer framework, if you're familiar with that, where it's like, if I can help you do this, would you
I know.
take me up on it?
I work. I do editing, and I'm looking forward to seeing this. But that's my main gig right now is doing editing for Moxie, and
Oh, cool.
we have power offers like all the time. So if I'm very curious to see if this is the same format. They're very powerful too. They were.
Oh, good.
They do. Yeah. My client's crushing it right now with one of them. So
yeah, it's just letting the algorithm do the work.
Exactly.
Okay. Then I'm excited to learn, because I was looking at this through sort of more uneducated eyes. And I assumed there was a reason for the way this pitch stacks out, because, and so I won't go into what I would have. I just want to hear people in the know talk about this framework. So give us a little context, because this will be a great sub lesson. Power offer, what's different about maybe a standard sales pitch, framing of a power offer?
The way is, the big difference is you're pretty much targeting the conversion hole. So rather than giving something away for free, like a lead magnet, and then you're trying to like upsell someone, like you're giving something away for free, the whole funnel is built around saying, would you take me up on this offer? Like, for example, the landing page is just almost built right now, but it basically says at the top, like, invitation looking for 3 new clients that want this result. So it's very, very direct, and it's super clear that there is an offer going to happen. It's not wishy-washy at all. It's not like we're hiding it. It's not an invisible funnel or anything like that. It's very clear, like targeting the conversion hole, people that want the change.
Cool. Awesome.
Does that make sense?
All right, we'll get into it. Yep. Hey, Carrie, just one thing that's different. So we'll all see the copy in real time together. Unlike some other hot seats, I don't think Zach has posted this in the forum for feedback. So we'll just kind of do it real time together. All right, here we go. Just so you guys know, this is what we asked. What's the thing you'd like help with? So if you do submit, and if you do critiques yourself, it's important to know, where's the traffic coming from? Who's the avatar? Are they problem aware, solution aware, that kind of stuff. So Zach has given us all that information. All right,
so this is all like, and I'll read out kind of how this first part will go on the video, because I probably, like, some of these, like, I filled in my own stuff because I just did the voiceover for it, because I stopped letting clients do voiceovers because that's a nightmare. So this one it basically starts like, hey, this is Zach here from Marlowe's marketing team, and I want to show you in the next 10 minutes how this map, and if you go to the next slide, and then basically started talking about the case studies. So it's like how this map, and then go to the next slide, which is like, grew a new marketing company from making $42,000 per year to $225,000 per year in less than 6 months, while helping a CEO secure over $90,000 in funding for his venture in less than 72 hours, and also helped Kelly Sub the Check accomplish her 5-year business growth plan in under 5 years. And then it says, all while this same map helped hundreds of others not only hit their own yearly goals in a matter of months, but also help them build maverick systems in their business to offload 21 plus hours a week, so they can enjoy their life outside of work. So the big thing, like, you can keep going through this, the big thing that these people are struggling with is that they are so swamped in their business. Very similar to what Todd Herman does with 90 Day Year. She helps them build like customized growth systems in their business because they're too busy. Kevin, I bet you've been in these shoes before. I know we all have. We're building like, we kind of like switching from the technician of doing everything to the business owner. And that's her focus of what she helps with. So I'd love some feedback on the flow, what you guys think. And especially like, just input on this if I'm going the right direction. Cause this one was a little hard for me to write because it wasn't like a direct ROI offer. It's more about like the change that they're going through. So
cool. Well, Lori, why don't you start, since you look at these all the time and edit them?
I look at these all the time, but not in a VSL format. It's in a Facebook ad format. Do you have the Facebook ad that you're driving them to?
I do. I've got like it's pretty much the same. Like the way I switched up a little bit for because when you do them, do you go Facebook ad to then the mini webinar, right?
Yes.
Like the
Yeah.
power offer to the, and so
Yeah.
this is the mini webinar, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
can, let me just, that would
Just
probably
so
give more
everybody's clear,
context.
that was not the full BSL. That was just the beginning of it, which Zach wants help with. If we did the full thing, it would take up the whole hour. So
Yeah.
Zach, did
Yeah,
I show enough
exactly.
for us to weigh in? I know you wanted specific.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, this is like an older version that I just pulled up here. So it was like, attention, ambitious, burnt out female entrepreneurs. If I could help you cut your work week in half while achieving your most ambitious goal using a proven 3-step framework responsible for generating over 50 million in sales in less than 12 weeks, no matter what industry you're in. So you have a business that provides you freedom and flexibility. Would you take me up on that offer? And let me just post this in the chat because I know some of people here are visual, like myself.
Yep. And I gave you screen share capability.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
To show it.
I could just.
Zach, I have a question about just reading the Facebook ad. There's a lot of you language in there, and our clients ended up getting flagged for that, even with the power offer, which is really in your face anyway. So we've pulled back on using the you as much, and it still has the same effects. You might want to look at
that. It's so, I guess I just get lucky with Facebook compliance. I don't know what it is, but I will always push it. I'll like push it as far as I can to test. And if it gets disapproved, then I'll go back and fix it. But I somehow I feel like if I could help you at the start is always okay. It's more like if you're saying that you're struggling. Yeah, exactly.
That's true. Good.
Yeah. So that's a good point though, Lori. I appreciate it.
Hey, can we see the beginning of that BSL?
Yeah, I'd love some input on that because the normal
go
format,
to like 3 and 4.
So this is more like saying how this map can help you this, and then her map in about 20 slides or so is her like framework for how she does it.
Now I know this is something that your power offer covers, but whenever I see the mini webinars done, there's something that they restate in the mini webinar, and that's talking about who. Like, who is this for?
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's missing. Like, you're immediately talking about these external circumstances and then getting into the you know, but if you can maybe even put in one slide, like, for these people, let me show you what this, that map thing can do for you.
Yeah. And so my instinct was this, Zach, and again, like if there's a specific structure to these offers and these mini webinars that I'm just not hip to, I'm always open to the fact that it works.
I love all the feedback. Go for it. Yeah. Lay it on, my man.
So my instinct always is like, because I am, like you said, I've been through this stage recently, right? Just the pain of going from independent to business owner. So I would just like really love to be nodding my head in the beginning. I get that it's about, look, you know, this is what I can do for you. I don't know that I was like, and again, I see these offers all the time, so there's a fatiguing effect, but I don't know who Kelly Sedilek is. So that, you know, maybe if she was a mother of 4 who was sure she was ready to quit her business because she couldn't do it anymore or whatever, right? And just like a little bit of context drama around who this person is and why it's significant. You know, can I relate to this, to Kelly?
Okay.
If it's a woman, I don't even know. It's you know, and so freedom and flexibility. So anything for me, it was like, we usually on these critiques, we always look for like, what's the moment where I'm like, all right, you got me. Do we want to make sure that, I don't think there's any throat clearing in this, but it just comes out of the gate with some credentializing that if I'm coming off a cold Facebook ad and I don't have context for who Margot is and who these people are that she helped, looking for so then it's a lot about her credentializing. So let me explain how it works, and you show me this map. I guess for me, I would want to hear, you know, are you dealing with this? Have you
cool.
Are you stuck in that habitual thing that every entrepreneur faces where it's like, you know, you need help to grow, but you're too busy staying alive to stop and figure out how to grow. And
I love it.
That's where I meet people every day, and I take what feels impossible to them, and while not having to interrupt the way shit's working now, I install a system and guide them through a system that allows them to get their life back, get control of their business, build a team, whatever else it is. And maybe that's too much to explain up front. I'd love to hear from Jimmy and Lori on that. But for me, that's what I would need to hear to know, oh man, she's speaking to me. She understands my pain.
Well, I felt the same. There wasn't that clicking moment where I'm like, I'm absorbed in this. But if you've really got your target market dialed in, maybe you don't need that. But it's, yeah, my gut instinct would be, I'm not in yet.
You know, I think, funny enough, in kind of the template that I've seen, you're normally supposed to do that. I just switched it up because I'm doing something similar for another client, but it's a little different. Like, it's all photographers, and that approach just worked really well to hook people. But I think you're both so right. So I think what I'm going to do is do a different intro on that. And normally what you're supposed to do is you say the actual offer at the start, and you just repeat the offer to immediately hook them, exactly like you both said. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Cool.
Yeah, and if you're going to do like what Kevin was suggesting, where you talk about who this is for, you know, like as you're scrolling through, I saw around, I want to say slide 20 is when you kind of start talking about for these people that are in this situation. Let's see.
That's what I was kind of looking for that moment too. Where it was
like you could probably abbreviate that, maybe do like 1 or 2 slides. Like what's the high level pain point? Like, hey, for these people that are in this situation trying to do this thing, here's what I have for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit? I'm just a little confused on that. What do you mean?
Yeah. So it's like the whole flagging who you're talking to. You know, you flagged them with the ad, but then once they switch over to a new page, you have to remind them again. Just like, you know, I know Joel harps on this too, is like keep reminding them what the offer is, right?
Yeah.
And so if you could do that at the beginning of the VSL, like, hey, I'm still talking to this person. You know, you opted into this, saying, you know, raising your hand saying, I'm this person. Well, let me remind you, you know, hey, for this person who wants this thing, you know, and then here's what I have. And then you can go into your little map thing.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Cool.
Yeah.
So, there was a point in the chat from Michelle I just want to bring up because it's really true. With the target market, she said, where did she put it? I don't love ambitious burnt out female entrepreneurs. That is not women speak. We don't talk like that. So if you're speaking to women, you're not hitting our vibe. So that was a great point, Michelle. Thanks for that. And
Thank you.
What
would you put as a hook?
So she put like ambitious, overwhelmed. That's a good one. Like
Overwhelmed.
we don't want to feel like
stressed out. Yeah. What do girls say to each other over the phone, Lori, when they're talking about feeling this way?
Frustrated, overwhelmed, like too much to do, which is overwhelmed. But it's more, it's kind of weird. It's like almost an indirect directness that we do. we don't really say what we're thinking.
I love it though. So it's a little less like direct to the point of saying like totally burnt out, and it's like I'm overwhelmed. I got so much going on. Maybe like have too much going on in their day or something like that. Also,
juggling too many plates. Everyone's exhausted. That. Yes, we're exhausted, stressed, guilty.
Yeah, over it. Like that's how guys talk, Zach, is like, we're very direct. It's like, we're trying to land a plane. It's like, blah, blah, this failed and that failed. And it's very factual, you know?
Yeah. Women are like, how are you? I'm fine, but that doesn't, right?
Yeah. And I love this because this is my first offer that I'm writing for a female targeting females. So you ladies are amazing. Thanks for all the help. I don't want
real quick to that point. There's a specific reason why I take almost all of my copy and hand it over to my wife, and I'm and like I you know, and I have her highlight like, this is not what I say. This is not what I say. I'm like, okay, well, what would you say? I would say this. And I literally just do that. I don't like
So
take
you
what she
text
said.
your wife now,
Yeah.
right?
I absolutely do. And I don't like take what she says and I'm like, okay, I'll use that as inspiration for what I'll say. And like, no, I will literally take exactly what she said and put it in and run it.
I love it. That's amazing. That's great advice. I know my lady loves to help edit copy too. So
Okay, perfect.
okay, you guys are great. I don't want to take more time. Thank you
That's
all
okay.
so much.
Last
Appreciate
one
it.
little thing, just because I can't resist.
Yes, please.
This is a good lesson for everybody. When you write a thing like this, it means that it either shouldn't be there or just say it directly. So don't apologize for the point you're bringing up.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You've probably even heard about everyone and their dog preach about the famous 82. So what you're saying here is like, look, I know this is a little hack and like overdone, but I'm putting it in anyway. So bear with me. Don't apologize for what you're saying. Just say it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? That's just
so probably like saying it like you probably heard everyone talk about the 80-20 rule. Like just
Even,
be super
or
direct
even
about
just, you've probably heard of the 80-20 rule.
Exactly.
Just move on.
You guys
Exactly.
are awesome.
Good point.
That's amazing. Guys and gals, thank you. I
Such
love
a good
that. And
point.
that's a huge improvement for me. Because I know I'm
Cool.
guilty of putting a little too much in. So yeah,
Yeah,
shorten
well,
everything.
we do that as writers. Is like we have a different standard than the reader and even the client. Oftentimes,
Thank
as
you.
writers, we're like,
Yes.
I had a designer friend of mine. She has these amazing light fixtures, and I was looking at one of her spaces the other day, and she was saying, but I've used those lights twice, and my next client wants them, and I can't bear it. I'm like, give them the friggin' lights. Like, no, they're not going to meet each other, but for her, she's lowering her standard by, and we do the same thing. We're performers, we're artists. So just keep that in check when you're writing and forgive yourself that and just say the thing.
Awesome. You guys and
Cool.
gals and everyone who, as Alex said there, prefers to not identify. Thank you so much. Really appreciate all the help.
All right, Zach. Great seeing you, brother.
Thank you.
Super cool.
That's fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, that's good. He's so good, man. I really admire Zach. All right, cool. Let's look at Daisy. This is going to be a tougher one. We'll spend less time on the few we have coming up here. This is endurance athletes. This is a client project. Is Daisy here by chance? Anybody see Daisy Jean? Endurance athletes, problem aware, but this is an innovative solution to it, a unique all-in-one recovery shake. Is that unique? I would challenge that. But let's look. So, and again, just I always have to caveat, we're all writers here. We're all got our big kid panties on because writers are writers because they crave the harsh critique because we only want the end. So if we're being shitty, it's only because we're going fast. We love you. You're doing great, but we're going to be very direct in our feedback because we're going to be, if it's not working for us, the buyer is not going to be as nice as we are. So let's go back here. And as soon as Zoom gets out of my way, I'll click onto that ad. Okay. So here we are. This is the innovative all-in-one shake Swiss. Is Daisy here? Did anybody identify or not? Anybody see if Daisy's here? Can you guys see her in the list? We don't know. Okay. Can you guys hear me still? Jimmy and...
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Is Daisy here? Can you see Daisy in the list, Jimmy?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So she's not here. Okay. So for you, Daisy, when you watch this replay, you wanted to, just to get clear on your, number one thing you wanted, is this innovative enough? Okay, cool. Wait, it's an innovative, sorry, here we go. Can I make the USP pop? All-in-one recovery shake versus traditional protein shake. All right, so that's the goal. That's what she wants us to look at here.
Yeah, I
So
hear that and I immediately think, is this a good enough big idea? Is this a big enough idea?
Yeah, because it's just such a competitive industry, and I know I've used all-in-one things before, and so I don't know if that's truly innovative. So I just want to check that with you, Daisy. Like, if your client's telling you it's like super innovative and groundbreaking, it's part of your job as a copywriter to do the research and maybe go back to them and go, I hate to tell you, but it's not. Like, people have been proposing this for years, and so we got to come up with something better. So what makes this the best recovery shake ever? Big claim: refuels your post-workout, repairs your gut, tastes great, attacks inflammation, regulates immunity, all in one. So again, it's cool that it has all those things all in one, and I could see like value stacking against having to buy, you know, different supplements to do all these things and taking this big handful of pills. Like, that's cool. But again, I personally don't feel like, I'm not like super athletic, but I've been actively trying to improve my fitness for 20 plus years. And I've definitely seen this promise before. So for me, the USP does not pop, Daisy, yet. It needs, I need to know there's something behind this formula that's unique and different. And everybody from Paris Lampropoulos and every other copywriter that's worked so deeply in this industry, like, toils endlessly to come up with a unique something about one of the ingredients that tells a story that no one's heard before. And I know that's critical to an offer like this. So that's my take. Jimmy, Lori?
Or you can go first.
I agree, of course, with Kevin. And if you could get a hold of an origin story, how was this created? Was there something cool about it that you can kind of make it more personal, make it come to life a little bit? Because it is super competitive. And what you said about pulling out a key ingredient and then kind of running with that, that's also a really good thing. And you could look up medical journals, not WebMD, but like, I think it's NHI something.
Yeah, PubMed, basically.
Yeah, if you could find something like that to support it. But I think digging deeper is going to be key for that. And that's all I got.
Yeah, and this, I'm sorry, I was on that note. This kind of throws me a little bit because, again, as a copywriter, I know, and I get this isn't a sales letter, right? It's more of an e-com page, but it says ingredients. Oh, I guess this is not the ingredients to what was in the Swiss RX, I guess. But
yeah, it is confusing.
Because all of these have other products, and I just feel like, you know, I don't know what to do, right? So now I have collagen, and so I would want to feel like if this is so unique, then I almost like I would want this to almost have its own page, because if it's including everything I need to do all these things, I don't want to be confused by the idea that I might or should be buying other stuff.
Yeah, looking at this, like if I were writing about this, the one thing that I don't know anything about is this bee propolis as it relates to inflammation. Mm-hmm. And I do know from an athletic standpoint that inflammation is more or less the cause of like all of our body's problems. It's somehow related to inflammation, you know? Mm-hmm. And so if there's like this bee propolis, and then what's the discovery story, right? The origin story of why this is the magic answer. That's the angle I would take with it.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I mean, if we think about like, if you've read Paris Lampropoulos's famous sales letter about the forget the emperor who had a harem of wives, and he had to please them every night, basically, right? It's this great hook, and that was Paris found one ingredient in the thing and researched his ass off until he found that story, and he basically could say this emperor legendarily had this flock of wives, and it was his job to please them ongoing. And so two or three wives a night, he'd go from tent to tent. And how did he do it? It was this one ingredient. I mean, and that's, you know, so much more compelling than here's this very beautiful looking can of stuff, but is it any different from when I walk into GNC? I'm surrounded by beautiful cans of stuff, and everybody's overwhelmed about what to buy. So, all right, hopefully that's helpful. I would say is the copy looks fine, but it's there's nothing popping out to make me feel like there's a USP or a hook that it's going to eat at me until I buy the thing. Cool. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. Let's go back to our. Who is here who's on this list? Could you raise your hand if Chris Koehl or Jeff is here? Michael Rhodes. Michael Rhodes is here. Let's do Michael. I always want to honor the people who are able to make the call. I know not everybody can. It's not a requirement, but in the limited time we have, it's so much better if we can help the people who are actually here. So
Yeah, Adam and Chris are here
Michael,
too.
Adam and Chris are here too. Okay, great. So we'll do those three. I want gut response, especially if you're in the market. What is the market? Okay, life insurance. All right, I'm in this market. Mostly female, 25 to 50, product and solution aware. Okay, and this looks like an email. So gut response on the email. I'll read. I don't know how long it is, but it's pretty long. Yeah, okay, this is one. Let me just read the first one, Michael. And so subject, which of these three kinds of parent are you? Pretty compelling, I got to say, like right there. It's like definitely gets me. Parents are competitive, Lori, right? We're all parents here. Like, you can't help it. I thought you'd like this, Kevin. Parents Magazine said studies have found that children brought up by loving but authoritative parents, those who are supportive of their children yet maintain firm limits, excel academically, develop better social skills, feel good about themselves, and are happier overall than kids whose parents are either too lenient or excessively harsh. The article referenced a study comparing three parent styles: permissive, authoritative, and authoritarian. Simply put, permissives let children regulate themselves. Authoritative set high standards, expect maturity and cooperation, offer lots of emotional support. Authoritarians demand blind obedience and minimize emotional support. It's easy to see the advantages of authoritative style. Okay, research.
I have an input already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
Well,
Go ahead,
No,
Jimmy.
go ahead.
Let me go first.
It's only one more page, so let's just quickly get through it.
Okay.
So research suggests this is good, which means the kids are most likely to do horrible shit. It's pretty compelling. Whatever science says about it, you want to do the best for your kids, as I do mine. That's why I went looking for the best way to protect my family if something happened. Aha, that's how I first discovered this little known government-backed cover that's offered free to parents up to 45,000 pounds. See how much you could get. Okay. So very interesting angle for life insurance. What do you, go ahead. What say you, Lori?
I say that opening with that parent's quotation is really clunky. I like what it says, but it's just too much to absorb. I think it should be a summary of what you're reading before you dive into, tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them.
Yeah.
So that was my first hit, was just right out of the gate.
Yeah, this first paragraph is a slog, and
Yeah.
whenever we have a dash thing, I always have to question, should that be its own sentence? As a writer's tip. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Oh, I'm trying to decide where I want to start. Okay. So the one thing I'll harp on over and over again, before you can get someone to care about the solution, they have to care about the problem. I don't know what the problem is. It's like if we led with, someone in here, Alston, made a comment, if we're targeting females, then why not just say mom? I agree with that. Which of these three kinds of mom are you? And if we said something like, depending on what type of mom you are, your kid is either going to end up, a douchebag, a shithead, or a real winner. And there's one thing that makes a difference, right? And it's like,
having life insurance.
Yeah, that's my other big thing. Like, what the hell is the connection?
Yeah.
Right.
So I will say this, like, I think the writing is strong in regards to you really sticking to your point and backing it up. I would say, unless, Michael, and maybe you can tell us, we know that this is a more conservative type of person. I'd like to know what you know about this avatar, because honestly, this doesn't resonate with me personally at all. I'm actually more of the almost like self-regulating parent. Like I'm not about an authority. My kids and I'm not like their buddy. They know who's in charge, but I really respect them and give them space to learn their own lessons. Right. So if someone doesn't have the same style of parenting, they're out right away. They're almost kind of annoyed at this and trying to, so it's not, it could almost be like, I'll let you decide what kind of parent you are and what you think is best for your kid. But what we all have in common, no matter how you raise kids, is that you want to make sure they're taken care of. You could do it that way as well. Okay, hopefully that's helpful, Michael. Yep, toddlers and teens are so different. Yep, okay, cool. Oh, that's Michelle. All right, so hopefully that's helpful, Michael.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good comments in the chat.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing this recording, definitely go through the chat.
Cool. All right, let's go. You said Chris was here?
There's a lot of people here.
Cool.
Chiefs are so great. You guys are, the input is fantastic. You should all be up here.
These are so great, Lori. That's why I love doing these, and because everybody has such great stuff. There's no way we could all be on camera. It'd take forever. So it's hard choosing a panel sometimes. But all right, Chris, this is the Off the Leash, I believe. Oh no, this is Christian men. Oh, I didn't see this one yet. Christian men who want to become better men. Oh, I did see this. Fathers, husbands, leaders in the community. Aware of the problem. Okay, cool. So let's make sure I'm looking at the right stuff. Am I sharing screen right now? I'm not.
No.
Sorry. Here we go. Christian men. Attention, men. If you feel like you're drifting through life disconnected, detached, and lacking clarity of what it truly means to be an authentic man, here's a roadmap to manhood. This unique system is helping thousands of men become the best version of themselves. Could you be next? This system gives you what is needed to stand on firm ground and become the man you were designed to be. If you're not where you want to be in your life right now, it's not your fault. Every man needs the right information and training. This information gives you the training needed to unleash the potential within you. There's never been a greater time than now. All right, so my first comment is you keep telling me the same thing over and over, which is it's okay to tell me once, and like we were talking about, it's the old essay format. Tell me what you're going to tell me. Tell me, make it interesting. Tell me you told me and why I should take action. But this is all like wasted space because up until this point, you've only told me the same things in different ways. But now we get into the market here. There's never been a greater time than now for you to unlock your full authentic manhood. This model is based on biblical principles and the 33 years Jesus walked this earth. The challenge for us men is nobody teaches us how to become men. I'd say that's arguable. Like it just depends on how you grew up and what kind of mentors you had in your life. And so I'd be curious. Okay, the new way towards manhood, Little Rock. Fully introduce myself in a moment. Or take a look at the image below. So these horrible stats. So basically non-Christian, what is this? According to Colorado State University, 85% of men, it's all men doing terrible stuff. You see our world desperately needs better men, our families and our kids. Interesting. So now it's like a call to action to like make the world a better place by being a better man. But that's, to me, like I'd be like, if I'm struggling and I feel like my manhood is in question, my problem ain't the world. My problem is me. So I don't know if that rally, to me, is immediately as effective as it could be. What do you guys think?
I'll jump in here. When I hear manhood, that word immediately means penis.
Right?
And then on top of that, like if this is supposed to be targeting Christian men, we need to make that clear from the get-go. I feel like this is trying to sell me on Jesus. Like if I don't believe in Jesus, you're not going to sell me on the sales page, so I need to, know right out of the gate, like if I'm, me being a Christian man, I want to know that this is talking to me out of the gate. Don't try and sell me on Jesus on top of that. But man, I mean, that bar chart sucks. Like I'm hearing murder, death, rape, and then we're talking about penis.
You're lumped in with the murderers. That's not right.
Yeah, it's a lot of categorizing and stereotyping and telling me like, basically, if I'm not part of the solution, I'm part of this problem, which is really the proposition. It's very political. It's very Trumpian, really. Like that's kind of the message. Is like you're either not, if you're not voting for Trump, you're causing all this havoc. I'm not being political here. I'm just saying like that's right-wing conservative messaging 101. And it's effective in some context, but the disconnect for me is that you're telling me you can help me do a thing that's deeply personal that I am willing to admit is missing from my life. But my motivation is not going to be to make the world a better place. That'd be a nice sub benefit, but I got to fix me because I wake up feeling like half a person every day, according to this. But the reasons aren't, but this isn't going to help me be motivated to do it. You got to tell me you get how I feel and my quietest, darkest thoughts and what I see in the mirror, and tell me that, if it's not my fault, then whose fault is it? And what do I do?
Yeah, I feel like this is saying if I don't make this change, then I'm going to become a murderer, a child sex abuser, and a rapist. And I'm like, this is so depressing, and just like I don't want to see anything about this. Yeah. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I do like where he suggested the pre-head at the very beginning about being an authentic man. I think that might be it's something to appeal to be a better person.
I love that.
Maybe run that through this a little bit more.
So yeah, I guess the big notes are who are we talking to? This is Chris. So just a disconnect in what's my mission here? I think understanding the avatar. What is their motivation? Am I waking up? It's like, all right, you got me, man. I'm reading. Like, you get me. Wow. Okay, I'm not alone. I'm already starting to feel a little bit better, but now you're going to twist the knife more. And you're right. I do that. I don't know why I'm not interested in. I don't know what the symptoms are, because you're right. Manhood, I'm just thinking about sex. It's like, if I see the word manhood, like Jimmy said, and I've lost interest in my libido's down, and I just, like, whatever reason, not interested in having sex like I used to be, and all these things. Athletically, I can't compete anymore. If I'm losing my manhood in those ways, but that has nothing to do with all this, because guess what? You have to have a strong amount of testosterone and libido to commit all these crimes. So if my manhood's in question, like, I ain't doing any of this stuff. I'm just sitting around getting flabby. You know what I mean? So which is it?
Well, yeah. And what is Jesus going to teach me about my erection? That's like what I'm thinking. I was like, and these ideas are so at odds with each other. I'm like, I don't know what this is about. This is so, I don't know. Cognitive dissonance is like way out there.
So Chris, you're here just to clarify for us real quick. I'm glad this is helpful. Is this about sort of a libido and that kind of manhood, or is it about feeling like more of a capable man? Like I can protect my family. I know how to, I'm almost like a prepper.
Right. Like the Garrett White stuff.
Yeah. More like a Garrett White thing is if you know who that is.
I don't know who that is. Garrett White?
Garrett White's this guy who gets entrepreneurs together and makes them like box each other.
Oh, great.
He's like it's like Fight Club for entrepreneurs.
Yeah. It's insane, but he's very good at marketing to that warrior mindset. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So, okay, that's what it is. And so I think our biggest note then, Chris, is the manhood. You got to find another word. I think it's not manhood. And I don't know how baked in that is from your client here, Steve. Oh, it's authenticmanhood.com. So it's totally baked in. Yeah.
Well,
so
the authentic might balance it out a little bit.
Yeah.
I just don't lead with that.
Yeah, and I would like define manhood. I would come out of the gate. Let's talk about manhood. We hear this word associated all the time with our libidos or blah blah blah, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about authentic manhood. When you combine those two words, what it means is this. And if you could just set that straight right out of the gate and go, now let's have a conversation about it, I think you'll be in a better position. Cool. All right. Cool.
Position.
If Alex Penning was on a mic right now, this would be the jokes don't get by Alex. Okay. All right. So since Adam is still here, and then we'll wrap up. Structure thesis.
Ken Beller is here.
As Who is?
Ken Beller.
Oh, Ken's here too. All right. We'll try. If you guys good to hang out for a minute, I'm okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, cool. All right, we'll do Adam next. Keen to get your feedback on structure and whether the overall thesis of the page works. As part of that, any thoughts on headlines would be awesome, but my priority at this stage is definitely nailing the top line through line. That's going to take a bit of reading, but we'll do our best, Adam, just so we know. Social media marketing for brands and businesses, okay. Avatar is marketing managers responsible for overseeing social media, failing to get the engagement, okay. Post webinar sales page, okay. So products should in theory be both problem and solution. We're also using Facebook to retarget. So they've been through a webinar, so they're pretty educated on, I would say, I agree with you, the problem and solution should be pretty obvious to them. So let's see what we got. Sorry, I keep forgetting to share when I'm reading through that stuff. Comedy content starter pack. Okay, interesting. Comedy content that supercharges engagements and reach on social without putting your brand's reputation on the line. Okay, that's a good distinction. That's important because that is a concern when people think about being funny. Everything you need to successfully entertain, engage, and sell. We've got these fun-looking people here. It's TV's best comedy writers crafting content your audience will go crazy for. Yeah, pretty cool. It's got a fun vibe, so that's matching. I'm Adam Hunt, a TV producer turned copywriter who loves it when brands make us laugh and hates how rarely that happens. Good. There's an art to writing jokes that work for brands and the science that makes sure the end result is on brand, on message, and won't get you canceled. Oh, good. I brought together TV's best comedy writers as the white label comedy hive mind to help brands of all shapes and sizes entertain, engage, and sell. I have mixed emotions about these asterisks but not as hard as it sounds. They were all the same branch of Starbucks complaining about the Wi-Fi. That's funny. I keep them in a small bucket on my coffee table, occasionally feeding them episodes of Cheers. Okay. This is good. Like you're I love when someone says, I want to teach you to be entertaining, and the page actually entertains me. That's crucial and not the case often enough. So nice job there. Yeah, credentializing. Your best defense against the crushing defeat of the algorithms, GSOH, which is what? Where's my asterisk now? What's a GSOH?
Yeah, I read that as a gosh.
Is he telling us what it is? For those outside, of the UK, Spec is a brand of opticians. I don't know what a GSOH is.
I'm ready to put out my credit card. I love this. I think it's great.
Me too. I think it's really well done. And if I'm been wanting this, and I've tried to sell, I've taught comedy and how to be more entertaining and less boring. And it's, people get very intimidated by it. So what I love is this is done for you. That is huge. So did Adam tell us what a GSOH is in the chat? Good sense of humor.
Okay.
I would put an asterisk on that just because I'm a comedian and I didn't get it. I don't know what that says about me, but
or
okay.
Quotation marks even.
Yeah. Okay. We all like it. We think it's cool. I think the through line is that's what you asked about. What I'm seeing is a scanner. The through line is it will raise engagement. It will give people love for my brand right out of the gate. It'll make them happy to hear from me. That's all there. That's what I'm seeing. And the one thing I want to make sure is that actually going to help me sell product? Are you showing me some stats on that? The reason all those tips, tricks, and ninja hacks are never going to work is Google how to increase engagement on social media, and you're present with a bunch of copycat articles all pitching very similar tips and insightful ideas.
Hey, I have two things.
Uh-huh.
One, I would really, and I think someone just made this comment. I would really want to test against the reverse type. So
Yeah,
I have a hard time reading white on
on blue
color.
like this, especially the smaller fonts.
Yeah, and then the headline, I would want to see maybe the subhead kind of reversed with the main headline. I don't know what the traffic is leading into this. Like, what is the the pretext, the persuasion happening that's segueing into this. But when I see that headline, I don't actually know what it's doing. Like it takes me a while to get to it.
Yeah, well, they're coming off a webinar, so they should be pretty
Oh,
aware.
yeah, then they're aware.
All right, cool. Adam, before this, a webinar that teaches them basically all the things we covered on the, yeah, so this is basically recapping the offer essentially, Jimmy. So
Yeah, so it's like an extended kind of
Mhm.
offer page.
I think it's pretty effective. It
Yeah,
looks
then
beautiful.
it works.
Maybe test and yeah, even on mobile. Let me see if I can get
Yeah, mobile, right?
basically
Reverse
a
print that's a great tip.
mobile effect. I mean, I can read it. It's a bigger font, so that's okay. I can read it okay, but it's always good to, yeah, even on white on orange, definitely it does mess with my eyes a bit. And some of your jokes are going to get lost in the really small font on reverse text there, Adam. So I don't know if you've tested against that, but you might want to give that a whirl. But beyond that, let me see how hard it is to buy this and work with you. What are the next steps, Adam? So if anything, honestly, man, like it may have too much information. This part fell a little flat for me. And it could be because I'm in marketing, but why these things aren't going to work. It feels to me at this point, like if I know I want to try comedy and be more entertaining, and you just need to convince me that you're going to help me do it from like, do I need to be in the videos? Are you going to make me funnier or are you going to help my brand have a more entertaining voice? I kind of need to know that distinction. I don't know if I want to get bogged down in why the other stuff isn't going to work. It's good salesmanship, but if I'm coming off a webinar, it just feels like there's a lot here. And if I'm on a fence, you could almost sometimes talk people out of buying or give them more resistance because they got to think through all this stuff you're giving them. So I would test even saying less in some regards as well.
Yeah, you could be unselling them.
Yeah. I love the evidence, white label comedy. I think that's super cool. I love the concept of I took the best comedy writers. By the way, I used to write I used to contribute to a column. It had the greatest hook. It was called Too Tough for TV, Rejected Jokes of the Late Night Comedians.
Oh, nice.
And the concept was like Jay Leno used to have this fax service. And, if you were invited to contribute, you could fax in your jokes from that day's headlines and they would pay you $25 if Jay read the joke on air. And the concept for this column was these are the ones that Jay would have loved to tell, but wouldn't have got him past censors. So they're a little body, right? And it was like super fun to write. Anyway, it was similar. So I love the idea of we took comedy writers, these are people who do this for a living and you're in good hands, right? The Laura Belgray effect too. Like she wrote comedy for TV for a long time and that's a big part of it, really shows in her stuff. So
yeah,
I like
I would look at how Charm Offensive sells their stuff. John Buchan and Charm Offensive.
Yeah.
He was on your podcast too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he was quite a while ago. I only knew him as having sort of a Facebook group and like he took, but their position is more like how to get in front of decision makers by cutting through all the other
with the angle of using humor.
With humor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, check out that podcast episode I did with him because the reason I had him on the podcast is because it worked. He did it just like you're doing here. Like he wrote to me and forced me to read, got me to laugh like twice, and I was like, let's just talk about how you did this to me. So it was really cool. All right, awesome. Good work, Adam. I really like this page. And I think I'd love to hear more about this service, how it's working. I don't know if it's brand new, but love it all. Okay, cool. Let's go into Ken. Ken is, let me share screen again. Sorry.
All right. Hey, I got to jump, guys. Thanks for having me.
I actually
All right,
do as
Jimmy.
well. I know that's
You do?
so rude.
All right.
So rude. I did it
And you
first.
said you were good.
Exactly. Well, I'll stick around.
All right, I'll jump in
I
again.
should
You
do
guys leave.
All right, bye guys.
Go,
All right. I'm
go
sorry.
away. Good seeing you. Bye.
I'm not sorry. Bye.
You're
Thanks,
not allowed
guys.
to tell me why you're not sorry. See you, Lori. Thank you so much. It was great having you here.
You too.
All right. Cool. All right. Let me do Ken, since we said sales page review, submit off your first review. Copy is pending. This is the average American who wants to add plant-based foods to their diet but does not want to change their diet much. Okay. Did we look at this one before? Ken, was this the because we looked at a similar one. Yes. All right, cool. And is it updated since then? Is that why we're looking again? Awesome. Cool. So I remember this. I remember our notes. Everybody wanted the burger. But I think we needed more context about how it was different from other stuff. So now I notice it's, I think you simplified and gotten more direct with the messaging. What if you could get healthier without overhauling your diet or even cooking? Yeah, that's right. I remember before it was a lot about like, you could make foods just like these restaurants. And we were like, I don't know if that's what I really want more than I just want to understand how to eat better on a plant-based diet. Is that correct? I think that's what I remember. Our notes being, Ken. Yeah, looks good, man. Big overhaul, a lot less confusing. What if you could get healthier without overhauling your diet or even cooking? You know, eating more plant-based foods is healthier. It can lower your cholesterol, reduce blood pressure, and even help you lose weight. But you don't want to give up your favorite foods or go vegan. You worry you won't get enough protein. You aren't sure which plant-based products taste best or where to get them. And you don't have the time to figure all this out. Spot on. For example, where are you more likely to find a plant-based burger, McDonald's or Burger King, a salad top with meatless meat, Applebee's or Cheesecake Factory, a wider selection of plant-based groceries, a plant-based meal kit delivered to your home, HelloFresh? This video series solves these. Okay, good. So this is about if I'm taking on a plant-based diet, you're not necessarily teaching me to cook or where to buy the ingredients. It's about how to identify where to go get that stuff out in the world. Am I correct, Ken? Just remembering better now? Yep. Before it had a bunch of product images on the site, right? Correct. Oh, cool. I remember now. Yep. Yeah, I think it's cool. So I think this is really effective because this is really smart, because if I'm in this market, this is definitely what's on my mind. Is like, you know, I'm basically giving up meat, right? I saw a documentary that told me it was killing me, so I'm just not going to eat meat. I'm going plant-based. Where do I get this stuff? And I kind of dig the way you're doing this, because I might not have even thought as much about that. There are so many choices out there in restaurants, and I don't know what they are yet. So I'm excited by the question to find out that there's a list like this. Simple swap series, there's nothing else like it. This video series takes out the guesswork and saves you time, money, and frustration. Cool. I guess, okay, so you're my host. How it works. After you sign up, you will get full access to all 20 videos, 5 to 10 minutes each, so you can take them at your own pace. For your convenience, each video will also be emailed to you, one per day starting today. Okay. I guess I'm a little unclear on the offer, Ken, is my only thing. Because I feel like this could just be a list. I don't know why I need all these videos. So let me just stop sharing. And yeah, exactly. Everybody's a little like, what's in these videos. It feels like if I'm going to watch 20 videos, a lot more is going to happen than you just telling me which restaurants to go to and what food services can deliver me this stuff. So, I think you're almost in the reverse of what I told Adam. I think you're not telling me enough. You got to get me more excited. If I'm ready to change my life and take on a new diet, or I've already done that and I'm super frustrated over where to find stuff and how to do this better. I know vegans and other people, and they eat a lot of French fries. You know, like they definitely struggle with this, even people who've been doing it a long, long time. And so there's a lot you can talk about the sacrifice and how hard it is to go out with a group of friends and want to order the right stuff. And maybe you can, you know, if everybody's saying, take a vote, which restaurant should we go to? And you know, which ones have plant-based stuff and which ones don't. Like, bring me into that moment, like share with me that you understand all the trials and tribulations of having a plant-based diet in the real world, not having time to cook. I don't necessarily want to become a chef to be able to do this, right? So let me know that you're my new best friend in this, Ken. Not that, hey, I'm into this too. And, right. So, yeah, like become my new best friend about this. Like, let's have a chummy conversation. If we met at a friend's cocktail party and found out we were the only two people there on a plant-based diet, we'd be bonding, we'd be laughing, we'd be talking about what kind of food they put out. It's like, enjoy the celery, Mike. Yeah, you too can, you know. So have that chummy conversation with me about what's going on here. Okay, cool. You say that a bit in the bio. Yeah. So I'd say just do more of that. Let's just see how you're framing yourself real quick here. Whether you're in your journey of healthy eating, from avid meat eater to longtime vegan, Ken can relate. Born into a cattle ranching family, Ken ate a meat-heavy diet most of his life. Discovering the benefits of plant-based eating, he switched to a plant-based diet more than 20 years ago. Combining his knack for research as an engineer, a certification in plant-based nutrition from Cornell University, and his love of great food, he and his wife, Heather, created the series to make plant-based eating easy for everyone. Ken is an acclaimed business leader, public speaker, and workshop creator. He's also the co-author of 2 books, including Great Peacemakers, winner of more than 30 awards. Okay, cool. Love all that. I would just want to see it higher up. I think this is all pretty cool. It could be improved, but it works for me. It didn't overwhelm me. It was clear to read. It got me curious. I almost feel like right here it'd be like, hey, I'm Ken and here's what's up. So not just your bio, which is, this is a good about page on a website, but you know, a sales letter like this is your opportunity to have a conversation with me. So, you know, how would you talk to me in an email, Ken, if you had one shot at sending me a personal email because we have a mutual friend and that friend told me about you, and they said, I'm going to have my friend Ken email you and help you understand how to make life easier on a plant-based diet. What would you send me? It would probably be like, it'd be friendly, it'd be conversational. You'd give me all these great, you had to do it all in an email. Couldn't link me to stuff. Couldn't say, hey, I'm Ken and I've got this cool product you can buy and it's all these videos. You know what I mean? Like, get me bonded. I'm saying you have to give the whole product away, but you know what I mean? Like, I would want to feel that more kind of a conversational vibe in this copy. Cool. All right. Yep. Good stuff, Ken. Big improvement, a lot less from what I recall before. It's a lot cleaner. It doesn't overwhelm me. And I think you're making great progress. I don't know if you have this up in Copy Chief in the review section, but I think definitely post it there as well, because there could be a lot of people who are members not on this call who understand this lifestyle even better. Okay, great. Well, thanks everybody for being here. If we didn't get to yours today and you want to make sure you get priority next week, just would you write to support at copychief.com and say, hey, Kev didn't get to my critique. I want to make sure I'm first in line on the next one in 2 weeks, and I'll do it. Okay. Thanks everybody for all your wisdom and experience and support in the comments. We will post these comments under the replay. Thanks everybody for submitting. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.